Constipation symptoms, causes and facts. Common constipation symptoms. When constipation occurs, several things often take place within the GI tract. There is slowed movement of stool passing through the colon, or not enough stool is being formed. There is delayed emptying of the colon from the pelvis, or a combination of both. The most common signs and symptoms of constipation include producing fewer than normal bowel movements. Keep in mind that fewer than normal will differ from person to person. There is not necessarily one specific number of bowel movements you should expect to have daily, weekly. Some people go to the bathroom more than one time daily, and others only go every other day on average. The key is to pay attention to your usual habits. If suddenly you are going to the bathroom less frequently than what's normal for you, then you're likely constipated. Stool that is difficult or painful to pass. You might feel pains in your abdomen and need to strain or push. Bloating in your abdomen, and often having increased gas. From the Ayurvedic perspective, it is considered normal to have bowel movements once a day. But this is an average standard for people who are healthy from the Ayurvedic point of view. Of course, your personal norm may differ, but the key here is to have your bowel movements regularly. What causes constipation? Constipation is usually caused from a combination of different factors, including those related to your diet, level of movement, and also your stress levels. Here are several factors that might be contributing to your constipation. Irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, could be the cause of your constipation. Poor diet, diets high in processed foods, sugar, refined carbohydrates, alcohol, unhealthy fats and synthetic additives can make it harder to produce normal bowel movements. Stress, high amounts of stress alter hormone and neurotransmitter production, which has a direct influence on muscle tension, inflammation, enzyme production and overall digestive functioning. Inactivity, exercise helps to increase blood flow, strengthens muscles within the digestive tract and helps control stress. Certain medications, some medications can cause frequent constipation including antidepressants, antacids, calcium or iron supplements, anticholinergics, anticonvulsants, and diuretics. Imbalance in intestinal flora, healthy bacteria living in the gastrointestinal tract, called probiotics, help to regulate bowel function. One of the reasons fiber is so important for gut health is because prebiotic fiber from plant foods helps probiotic bacteria to thrive. Thyroid or hormonal problems, thyroid disorders, PMS, eating disorders, diabetes and menopause can all contribute to constipation. Other diseases that might contribute to constipation include Parkinson's disease, spinal injuries or neurological issues that affect nerves in the GI tract. Magnesium deficiency. Magnesium is an electrolyte that helps with normal muscle functioning. Too little magnesium in your diet can contribute to muscle tension and also worsen symptoms of emotional stress. Bad bathroom habits. For some, rushing the time they spend in the bathroom, and sitting in an uncomfortable position on the toilet, can contribute to bowel movements that don't feel complete. Poor sleep, jet lag and traveling. Older age. Sometimes older adults lose interest in food, because of things like food tasting differently, trouble chewing and not having energy to cook, which means they stop consuming enough fiber and calories, and therefore digestion slows down. Facts about constipation. If you have fewer than 3 bowel movements per week, you are considered to be suffering from constipation. Research shows between 16 to 20% of the total North American population suffers from frequent or chronic constipation. About 1/2 of all doctors' visits to gastroenterology offices are related to functional digestive disorders that cause constipation. Only 34% of people with self-reported constipation consult a physician for help, while 35% of these individuals use laxatives on their own. It's estimated that the annual expenditure on over-the-counter laxatives in the US is now $800 million. 2% of women and 1.5% of men report using laxatives at least every other day. Women experience constipation more often than men do. Some surveys show women become constipated 2 to 3 times as often as men. Older age increases someone's risk of becoming constipated. The highest risk is for people over 65. Among adults over 50, around 10% of all men and 20% of all women have frequent constipation. In adults older than 70, the rate rises to 21% of men and 25% of women. 60% of women report experiencing symptoms of constipation at least weekly, and more than 90% monthly symptoms. More than 60% of women living with frequent constipation report that they have experienced symptoms for more than 10 years. Adults should get 22 to 34 grams of dietary fiber a day, depending on their age and sex, in order to help prevent constipation.